After being in the styling industry for over a decade, one of the most common challenges that I've noticed that most stylists have is pricing their offers, y'all. And I think it's a challenge because we truly don't see the value in what we do. I know when I first started styling, my first couple of years of styling, I really didn't see styling as a full-time career. I didn't see it as something that I could pursue full-time. I really just saw it as something that I was supposed to be doing on the side. But when you price your services and your offers at a premium and you truly understand your value, you can, without a doubt, become full-time in this industry and actually sustain. So I'm excited to hop into today's topic. If you are wanting to know how to price your services, wanting to know what to consider, and really want to understand the value that you bring to the table as a stylist, then I encourage you to keep watching. I go for it, I don't care about them. How they feel is never my problem. You so good at running away. All right, so hey stylists, welcome back to another video. Y'all know I'm always excited to record these videos for y'all because I know that it's going to be a game changer for you and your styling business. Today's video is all about pricing your services and really understanding the value that you bring to the table, how much you should be charging, what you should consider, and all the things that you've probably been trying to figure out for the longest time. And like I said in the beginning, I get it. I know I struggled with charging my worth in the beginning because I really didn't understand what I was charging for. I felt like what I was doing wasn't valuable. I felt like what I was doing was something that was super easy. I didn't spend a ton of time doing it, and I just felt like the client could do it themselves. But in reality, that's exactly why they're coming to you, because they can't do it themselves. They aren't knowledgeable enough. They don't have the capacity, and they want to hand this task over to someone who is blessed to truly help them and truly understand what style and fashion is all about. So I'm excited to hop into today's video and just talk about a few things that you should consider as a stylist when it comes to pricing your services and your offers. But real quick, for those of you who don't know me, if you are new here, welcome. If you aren't new here, welcome back. My name is Kristen Johnson, and I'm the CEO and founder of PSU, which is Project Style University. There, I help first-generation personal stylists truly turn their passion for styling into a profitable business. And I do that through private coaching programs, through mentorship, and of course, these videos. So I'm super excited to hop into today's topic because I know it's going to be helpful to you. So let's get into it. So first things first, you want to consider your expertise, you want to consider your time, and you want to consider your expenses. Now, let's talk about expertise first, because a lot of you may be new to this industry and you might feel like you don't have enough experience to be charging, a certain price point. And I get it. I wouldn't suggest coming out the gate charging an arm and a leg, especially if you're not really sure the transformation that you're providing, especially if you're not really sure exactly how you're going to conduct the service that you are looking to provide. So I want you to consider that first. Consider your experience. What can you do? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? I really wouldn't encourage you all to offer a service or to provide a service where you're not good at it. You have to get your practice in. So practice with your friends, practice with your family, practice with your coworkers, your peers, and get acclimated to what it is that you're doing so that when you do transition into offering this service or this offer to a client and you want them to pay for the experience, you feel confident. I know a lot of the times in the beginning, I was afraid to even charge because I didn't even know if I was going to be able to do the job. I didn't even know if I was capable of even giving the client what they were looking for. And it was because I didn't practice. And it was because I was offering services that other stylists were offering that truly didn't align with who I was. I mean, in the beginning stages, you're feeling yourself out. You're trying to figure out what you're good at and what you're not good at. But you have to give yourself time to actually gain that experience. You have to give yourself enough time to actually practice. Practice your services on other people. Practice your services on yourself and see what exactly the process is going to look like. See how long it's going to take. See all the time that goes into this service and what it takes for you to actually provide this service. For those of you who aren't new to the industry, maybe you've been styling for quite some time and you're in a space where you want to increase your prices or you want to start charging. Maybe you've been too afraid to charge charge in the beginning, but now you're in a phase where you want to start seeing a profit. You have to consider, again, your expertise and what you're good at. Focus in on what exactly you're doing for the client. Are you doing closet cleanses? Are you putting outfits together? Are you going shopping with the client? Are you shopping virtually? Are you shopping in person? What exactly are you doing, and how much time and value are you putting into this offer? Now, again, if you've been here for quite some time and watching my videos, I always encourage stylists to offer offers and packages and not specific services. Personally, from my experience, services don't really make financial sense, to be honest with you. The goal as a stylist is to build a relationship with the client and to make them want to come back for more, and also work with you for a long period of time. You want to retain these clients. You don't just want to work with them one time and they don't come back because they've gotten what they needed. So this is exactly why I don't encourage one-off services, because they just don't make financial sense, and they have not made financial sense for me. Again, if you want to try that out, by all means, go right ahead. It's nothing wrong with that. But I would encourage you to create packages. Create packages that offer a ton of value, so the client is getting a lot more for the investment that they're paying for. And with that, they'll be able to enjoy the experience with you and want to come back for more, and also refer other people to you. And this goes right into the amount of time that you're spending with the client. The more time you spend with the client, the more you can charge. Now, I will say, if you're in the beginning stages, you're starting off or you haven't started yet, you really want to lay out how much time you want to spend with the client. When I was in the beginning stages of my styling career, I was really thinking that I only needed to spend a couple of hours with the client just to get the job done. But as I began to mature in my craft and mature in my journey, I realized that in order for me to actually transform the client's life, I needed to spend more time with them, whether that was 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks. And of course, you're not working with the client every single day throughout this time frame. Maybe a couple of times out of the week, or maybe just once a week, but you're really getting an understanding of what exactly you're doing for the client, how long that's actually going to take, and considering that time frame. But not just when you're working with the client. You also want to consider the time frame it takes to actually shop for the client, to do all the behind the scenes work, to do the administrative work, to do the calls, all the things that go into the package that you're offering. You really want to make sure you consider the time that it takes. One trick that I like to suggest to stylists who are new, I always suggest considering how long it's going to take you to do each and every service that's included in your package. Come up with an hourly rate that'll help you to figure out a starting price point. Now, this isn't something that I would suggest broadcasting on your website or broadcasting to your clients, but something that you can have for yourself. If I'm spending 4 hours with the client and I know that I want to make at least $50 an hour, then I should be charging at least that amount to start off. That is going to help me to just figure out where I can start, give me a good starting point as to how much I should be charging for my time. Now, of course, when it comes to timing, you want to make sure you're setting boundaries. Obviously, you have to make sure you stick within that time frame and you don't go over. But if you do, it's okay, which is another reason why I highly suggest packages, because all the time that you need for the client is already incorporated into the package. When you do one-off services and you set time frames for that, it feels a little weird when you're now going over that 4-hour time frame. If the service was only supposed to take 4 hours, now you feel like you need to charge extra to cover the time that you went over, and nobody has time for all of that. It's too much to think about. And also, the client doesn't want to have to think about that either. Oh, just by the way, this service is only 4 hours, but if you end up going over, it's going to be $25 per hour that you... It's just too much, y'all. It's too much. And I've learned that the hard way, because that was something that I used to do. And it just did not make sense. And also, the client is going to want to start rushing you, at least from my experience. The client is going to want to start rushing you because they, of course, want to stick within that 4-hour time frame. They don't want to go over that time. Why? Because they don't want to spend any extra money. So it's really important, and I encourage you to create packages and offers that include a variety of services so that everything that the client is looking for and then some is included in one rate. You don't have to worry about adding extra money on or whatever comes along with offering services. And last but not least, for point number 1, your expenses, y'all. I want to say this is the most important because this is the easiest thing to consider. How much is it going to cost you to offer the service? So if you're offering your service virtually, how much does it cost for you to use Zoom? How much does it cost for you to use Calendly or Acuity? How much does it cost for you to use these tools that you're using to provide the service? Even in person, y'all, like think about gas, think about mileage, think about how much it costs for you to live every month. If you want to be full-time styling, how much does your rent cost? How much is your mortgage? How much is your car note? How much does it cost for you to buy groceries every month? All of these things play a part. Now, again, if you're new to the industry, do whatever feels right for you. But like I said, I would not come out the gate charging your rent price. I really wouldn't. If you don't really know too much about who your audience is and exactly what you'll be offering them, I would not suggest that. Now, if you've been in the industry for quite some time and you've been styling, you've had clients, you kind of know exactly who it is that you want to serve and you've been serving them, and now is the time where you want to raise your prices, that's something that you can slowly do over time. Don't feel like you have to do it all at once or every couple of weeks. Slowly raise your prices and add more value in it so that the price point makes sense. Now, if your offer or your package is already jam-packed with a lot of value and your clients are already telling you like your prices are too low, like you need to raise them, go ahead and raise them, especially if you feel like you're not making a profit. Now, this is one thing that I will say that a lot of stylists don't consider. From my experience and what I teach my students at PSU, I never include the shopping budget in the price point. It's always separate. Clients should have a shopping budget and they should have a service budget. So how much they're budgeting for the actual service is going to be different from how much they're budgeting for the actual clothes that they want. Now, if you're including the shopping budget in with your service fee, great. I would set a specific shopping budget for the client depending on what they're looking for. You can even ask them, how much is your shopping budget? And you can let them know, okay, well, I'll add that budget into my overall fee. Super simple, but it's important to set that foundation up front to let the client know, hey, my service fee is actually completely separate from your shopping budget. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I made in my styling business. Trying to set a solid flat rate for my offer and include everything in it that I needed for the client. So my offer of $500 also included 2 outfits, also included my rate, also included my time and my expenses and all the things. And I found myself shopping for the client at Ross and like TJ Maxx just to save a coin and just to make sure that I was making a profit. When you include the client's shopping budget inside of your actual rate, it really limits you on where to shop for the client because obviously you don't have a ton of money that you're working with. So when you separate the two, that service fee can be used for your expenses. It can be used for whatever else, your time, your expertise, and that is your profit. Everything else is specifically going to be used for the client's shopping budget. Now, that is one thing that I will encourage all stylists to do, no matter where they are in their journey, whether you're new, whether you're emerging, or whether you're seasoned. I would encourage you to separate the styling fee from the client's shopping budget. And I guarantee you it will make a huge difference in your business and the profit that you're looking to make as a stylist. Point number 2. That was a lot in point number 1, but point number 2, understand your value and communicate it clearly. Now, when I say clearly, I mean be specific, because the more specific you are, the more clear the client will be and what they'll actually be getting out of the experience. So when you have a package that offers a variety of services, literally make sure you are specific about what those services are, what they include, how much time is going to be needed to offer that service, and all the things, because the client is going to want to see that. especially if you're offering them a package deal. You say, all right, for this package, the closet refresh, this is what I'm going to do for you, and this is what it includes. And for all of this, this is the price point for that. That was definitely something that I learned, because the client is paying for the value. The client is paying for the experience. The client is paying for the knowledge and the help. Yes, they're paying for the clothes, but most of their money is going to the actual service that you're providing them. So you have to learn to communicate that value clearly. One thing I do when I am speaking with the client for the first time, I make sure that I talk to them first. I listen to them. I understand exactly what they're needing before I hop into what I can actually do for them. Most of the time in the beginning of my career, when I was working with clients and they were inquiring about what it is that I can do for them, I wasn't listening. I was more so focused on getting the client and letting them know what I can do for them. But once you listen to the client and really understand what their needs are and understand what their challenges are, you can make the best decision for them moving forward. You want to make sure that what you're offering is actually going to be meaningful to them and is actually going to provide a solution for them. You don't want to offer them something that they don't need, but sometimes you will be offering them something that they didn't realize they needed. So that's why it's so important to express the value. Why is getting a closet cleanse important? Why is putting outfits together important? Why is investing in me as a stylist important for you right now? A lot of the times, once the client expressed to me some of their goals, what they were working on, what they were doing, I would then feed that back to them as one of the reasons as to why they need to invest in me. Oh, you said you were looking for a new job. You said you were looking to gain more clients. You said you were looking to rebrand your business. You said you didn't really understand how to shop for your body type or your body shape. With what I do at SCB Luxury Styling, I can help you with all of that with this particular package. In this package, this is what I can do for you. Be confident with that. Stand firm on what it is that you can do and what the value is that you are bringing to the table as a stylist. Because again, people are going to assume that they know exactly what you do. And 9 times out of 10, they may be halfway right, but they don't fully understand what you do. People assume that I do hair when I tell them I'm a stylist. Some people assume that I have my own clothes and I just allow clients to shop through what I have. Some people think I make clothes. Y'all, I don't know if y'all can relate, but let me know in the comments if you can relate to that, because I know for a fact that those are the top 3 things that people think I do when I tell them I'm a stylist. And it used to frustrate me. It still does, but now I've grown numb to it. It really gives me an opportunity to then tell the client or speak to the person and say, hey, no, that's actually not what I do, but this is what I do. This is what I'm passionate about. This is what I do for my clients. Is this something you feel like you could use? Everybody needs a stylist. Don't get me wrong. Even stylists need stylists. So it's always going to give you an opportunity when someone makes assumptions about what it is that you do. It gives you an opportunity to, 1, educate them, let them know exactly what you do, and 2, put yourself out there more. A lot of the times people don't know any other stylists. In my experience, I'm the only stylist that people know. So a lot of people come to me that aren't my ideal client. They're looking for something that I don't offer, but because someone referred them to me and because I'm the only stylist that people know, they come to me. So it's so important for you to stand firm on what it is that you do, what it is that you offer, your mission, your vision, and how you change people's lives, because you're gonna get some people that may not understand. They may not get it. They don't see the value in it. So it's an opportunity for you to educate, not get frustrated, but to educate to the client and potential client about what it is that you do so they understand the value that you bring to the table. So number 3, research the market, but don't compete on price. I'm going to say that again. Research the market. See what all the other stylists are doing. See what all the other subscription services are doing, but don't compete on price. And I say that to say, do what you will with the information that you find. Sometimes when you're looking at other stylists and seeing what they do, sometimes you might start to compare yourself. I'm not gonna lie. That's definitely something that I've struggled with. But I will say, when you fully understand what you bring to the table and you fully understand your value, looking at other stylists and what they're doing won't faze you, because you know what God put you on this earth to do. You know your purpose as a stylist. And although you may be offering some of the same services or even pricing some of your offers and services around the same price point, doesn't mean that they're doing exactly what you do in the same way that you do it. It's so important to understand that and to not get hung up on what other stylists are doing. But it is important to see, if you're not sure how much you could charge, it's so important to see what people are doing and how much people are charging and for what they're charging for. Because a lot of stylists are out here doing absolutely nothing for their clients, but just shopping for them. And they're charging an arm and a leg. And people are actually paying for it, which is fine. Kudos to them. And obviously that's exactly what their clients want, and that's exactly what their clients are looking for. But for me and my business over here, SCB Luxury Styling, I am transforming my clients. I know from experience that clothes don't transform people. They don't. It's how they feel in the clothes that's gonna make them confident. It's how they feel when they put something good on that flatters their shape and that makes them look good is what's going to make them confident. It's what they wear when they walk into a meeting and secure a client that makes them feel confident and good. All of those things play a part, and all of that is feeling and emotion. So it's so important to understand that clothes are an emotional thing, but they're also psychological. So certain colors mean certain things, certain styles mean certain things, and all of that plays a part into what you're choosing for your client. It's not just picking things that look cute. It's really making sense of what works for each and every client and personalizing that experience for them, but also being strategic about what you're choosing for these clients after listening to what they said that they need. So you can look at other stylist prices, you can look and see what they're offering just to get inspired, but I encourage you to always go back to what makes sense for you and what makes sense to your audience, because that is the only thing that's going to matter. Last but not least, number 4, create tiered pricing and flexible packages. So I've been talking about packages throughout this entire video, and if you're not familiar with the package, it's a variety of services all in one offer. So this makes it a lot easier for clients to want to pull the trigger and really get everything that they need on top of everything that they want. So that's why you have to listen to your clients and you have to understand what their challenges are and what problems they're having so that your packages can provide a solution for them. So when I say tiered, I really mean meeting clients where they are. You may be niched down and really only working with one particular client, but each of those clients are different in their own way because they're at different levels in their journeys. So one client may just be starting off in their career. They're new, they're not really sure what to expect, and they only have but so much, and they're only looking for but so much. Another client, maybe they've been in their industry for quite some time and they love what they do, but they now want to level up. Now they want to move up in their career, they want to get promoted, they want to switch industries, or they want to do whatever. You can have a tier for them, but it's important to have tiers so that you can meet your clients where they are and give them a good starting point so the client can work their way up. So if a client comes to you and they have a small budget and you have an offer that fits within their budget that gives them just a taste of what it is that you do, offer them that to start. And then as time goes on, move them up to the next tier. And as time goes on, move them up to the other tier and keep allowing them to move up. Now, I don't expect you to have a bunch of tiers to keep moving these clients up to. Maybe 3, maybe 4 max, but you really don't need a ton of packages to really transform your clients' lives. The packages are supposed to be a great starting point for wherever the client is in their journey so that you can be the solution to their problem. I know for a fact this is going to be helpful for you because when I've rebranded and transitioned into the style savant that I am today, I was only offering one package and it was priced at a premium. So when I offered that package, not everybody was willing to pay for that. Don't get me wrong. If they're not willing to pay for it, sometimes they're not your client. But That's why it's important to offer other options so that people don't feel like they always have to spend a premium to work with you. You can still help them. You can still transform their lives, but maybe their budget is $1,500 and not $3,500. Or maybe their budget is $750 and not $1,500. So figure out how you want to tier off your offers and your packages so that you can meet the clients where they are. So I hope this video was helpful for y'all. I know I covered a lot, so let me know in the comments if you have any questions about pricing your services, how much you should be charging, what you should be considering, and all the things. This video is definitely going to change the game for you and really help for you to shift your mindset when it comes to pricing, because y'all, it's so much that goes into it, and I really want you all to consider what I talked about today, but also consider you. Consider what you need. Consider what works for you. Consider what works for your client, but also consider what I've mentioned in this video, because I know, like I said, that it'll be helpful to you because it was helpful to me. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to continue learning more about PSU, be sure to subscribe to our mailing list using the link in the description box. We actually have a few workshops coming up, so I'm excited for you all to attend and learn more. And also hop on our mailing list so you know when our programs become available. Like I mentioned, we offer private coaching programs and groups that I know that you will enjoy and that will be helpful for you. And we also offer stylist strategy sessions. So that one-on-one time is definitely going to give you everything that you need and all the clarity that you've been looking for about your styling business. So if you want to learn more about that, make sure you hop on our mailing list so you can stay in the know with everything PSU. So again, I hope this video was helpful and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.